flowers and different types of plants not only make your homes look pretty, but can help our pollinators too. Roma has some tips on which ones are best.
Ashley Bird, thank you so much for being with us today. We are going to discuss why it's so important to support the pollinators in our city.
Yes, absolutely. So pollinators actually make 1 in every 3 bites of food possible.
Okay.
So if we didn't have pollinators, we wouldn't really have food.
You don't even consider that. So what are some pollinators? You named a bunch.
Yeah, there's a lot of them and some surprising ones too. Like we all know that bees are probably arguably the #1 pollinator, but then there's also birds and bats. Bats actually make agave and tequila possible.
Well, thank you to the adults in the audience. We thank them very much. But no, really, this is important because you said we wouldn't have food on our table if we didn't support the pollinators. So you're going to tell us we can do this through planting the proper things.
Yes, so pollinators need places for them to have host plants or where they're able to continue their life cycle by laying their eggs.
Okay.
And then they also need nectar in order to be able to have their source of energy, and that is also where pollination occurs.
Okay.
So they prefer native plants. So we've put together a kit where you get 4 native plants and the education behind how to actually keep those plants alive once you plant them.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do today.
Sounds good.
First, I think one of the most difficult things, especially if you're brand new to planting, is how to water and how to actually plant the plants. So what we're going to do is that, so when you typically get your plants, they're in a plastic
bin like this.
Exactly. We don't want to ever put this in the plant because then the roots can't grow and expand. So we want to take it out. So taking it out can be really difficult, and it's okay. Plants are hardy. So you're just going to kind of squeeze the sides in case it's root bound. To make sure, and these are fairly well watered. You can also water them before, and that'll make it easier.
Okay.
And then you're going to gently kind of tip it on its side, and this would be outdoors, and then pull from the root just like that. Perfect.
And some of the soil, if it, like someone might panic if they see this, is that okay?
That's perfectly fine. Yep, and then you would put it directly into the ground, so you can put this back.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll put it, pretend we're in the ground.
Yes, we are in the ground.
So we're in the ground now, and then you would put the soil back on it. You don't want to add any rocks or anything like that.
Okay.
Create kind of like a small little wall around it so that when you water it, it's going to go directly to the roots. So the other thing I want to talk about is watering.
Watering
so this is the biggest
important.
thing. It's so important. And what's really important is you can't water too much at one time.
Okay.
Because it's just going to go into the ground and the roots will absorb it. But what you can do is water too often.
Got you.
So it's important to water on a schedule, especially when you have new plants, at least once a week, and water deep. If you do a quick little 10-second thing, ain't nothing gonna live if you do that.
Okay, so what do we have here, and what was it? This is...
Yeah, so this is flame acanthus. So this is an excellent one for hummingbirds because hummingbirds have long, skinny beaks. So this has a long, skinny flower where they're able to get their beaks in there to get the nectar.
Okay.
This one is fennel. So fennel is amazing. It is a host plant for the swallowtail.
Okay.
So the swallowtail will actually come and lay its eggs on here, and you can see the whole process of the butterfly through this plant.
Okay, and then we also have some beautiful flowers here.
Yes, purple coneflower, which is just a wonderful nectar plant. Obviously, it's really easy to get to it. And then this is Greg Smith's flower. It's not blooming at the moment, but it is actually known as the butterfly bush because butterflies are so attracted to it.
So maybe if you want the butterflies at your home, get this one. I would definitely love the scenery of that. So this is part of what you do, Blooming with Birdie. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so Blooming with Birdie, we're partners with the Monarch Butterfly and Pollinator Festival. So we create a lot of the education to educate our community about pollinators. And then Blooming with Birdie, we really focus, I'm a Montessori educator. So we create both digital experiences, so all this education is digital. And then we also have in-person experiences where you can go and you can learn and, for example, become a monarch butterfly.
Oh yes, well thank you so much for all this helpful information. How can people get their kits? What do they need to do?
Yeah, so social media, you can follow Texas Butterfly Ranch or Blooming with Birdie. And on Blooming with Birdie's social media, it'll link you through and you can purchase your kit. And right now we have the family class where you get the kit and then you get to come hang out with me for a little bit with the whole family, and we have kids hands-on activities so that they feel comfortable touching and handling plants and learning why they're so important.